It's time for Nicaraguan Name That Movie with Adam's buddy Oswaldo. See if you can guess which movie this famous line is from.
You're gonna eat lightning, you're gonna crack thunder.
If you said Rocky 2,
You're gonna eat lightning, you're gonna crack thunder.
you're correct. Now, back to the show.
Sean Evans in studio, creator, of course, of Hot Ones, which is such an amazing show, and I've been a part of it, and get such great guests. And, of course, there's DJ Khaled, which I'm so in love with. I just love that. But, I mean, Shia LaBeouf and Terry Crews and Charlize Theron and Dave Grohl, I have Jennifer Aniston, Kimmel did it. Everyone's done the show. So how did it begin, and what was the genesis of it?
So First We Feast started out as it was a food blog, and it was winning James Beard Awards and stuff, but like kind of not like a household name or anything. But in 2015, every media company was like, we got to pivot to video. We need a video product, you know? So everybody had to come up with something. We were in the Complex office, which is a magazine. There'd be celebrities walking the halls all the time, and we were like, all right, then maybe a celebrity interview show would be viable just because of our proximity to it. But then we were like, interview shows are boring. How do we make them not boring? Well, the reason they're boring is because everyone's in kind of a PR-driven flight pattern. So we're just trying to solve for that. Like, how do we disrupt that pattern? And Chris Schoenberger, who is editor-in-chief of First We Feast, he was just like, well, what about a show where we interview celebrities but have them eat increasingly spicy chicken wings over the course of the interview? And that was just like a Cupid's arrow into my brain. And we shot a pilot with Tony Yayo from G-Unit. We shot that Khaled episode in the first season that you love so much. And then here we are now 8-9 years later in season 19 and still doing it.
And you already knew you had the stomach for it, literally?
No, not at all, actually. Like, we didn't think... I didn't think we'd be programming it this long. You know what I mean? I didn't think I'd be doing it for this many years, this many seasons. We thought it would just be kind of a fun internet sideshow that maybe we'd put up like 3 or 4 times a year. But then once it kind of caught fire, and then I just really started to believe in the concept, just the interview concept. And then that kind of just kept us going. We had this cult audience that was there, and so you felt like you had to keep feeding that beast. And then it just ended up into the rhythm of what it is now.
And the kind of success kind of begats itself. I guess it's like a movie. If you can get George Clooney in your movie, then you can get Julia Roberts in your movie, because she'll go, who else is in this? And then they'll go, and there's a sort of, if this guy did it, then good enough for me. Because it's an interesting format for celebrities to flock to. But I think once you get the A-listers in there to kind of pop the cherry of the show, then it becomes this, hey, other A-listers, you need to do this thing because other A-listers. So but it's getting there. It's like, who are we talking about? Pete Davidson the other day?
Yeah.
It's not the fifth hottie he bones. It's the first one.
Right.
And that's the barrier to entry. I'm going to tell my son, you got to bang one high-profile, super hot chick. That's going to be the real work.
Yeah.
Once you bed her, then the other dominoes will just fall.
Cream cheese.
But telling him to fuck Ariana Grande is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100. But that is so on the nose of kind of how it all worked out. Is, wasn't
you
a big
fucked Ariana Grande?
Because I really think the most important episode that we had was the Charlize Theron episode. It's not like the biggest episode, but I think like there's been so many guests that like walked in afterwards and mentioned that is like the reason why they're kind of in. I do think that, it can just take one episode, like a tentpole episode, and then what ends up resulting from that kind of can just fuel your show.